I am Muzammil Ali Laskar. I am an advocate practicing in District Bar Association, District Bar Silchar, Kachar, a part of Assam, southern part of Assam. I came in 1970, just before these things, election. And I was very fortunate to see Bangabandhu just about, say, 5 or 6 years away from me in a rickshaw. He was delivering his speech, and so loud and so serious and courageous speech, I was just 5 or 6 years away from him. And when he said the Hat Tulo, I was in Indian, I couldn't follow it. So I didn't raise my head. Someone beside me said, you raise your head or you'll be isolated. So I raised my head, and I followed Bangabandhu. He was going by rickshaw. Rickshaw was being pulled not by just walking and I was about 5 or 6 years him away from him. I followed him for about half a kilometer. Then I left because he was to go to a meeting and he used to deliver these things. And I've heard him speaking. The 6 points, he described the 6 points in the meeting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And in my book, I have written some books also on different on Abul Fazl Ghulam Usmani, the part of my and here I have enumerated the 6 points. These are 6 points he has told. These are recorded things are there. And in 1971, I was a young man of 31 or 32, 31. And we were working, and we have some good friends also. And my teacher and my senior was Mr. Abul Fazl Ghulam Usmani. He is also recipient of the honor. His dad, his son has come. So we slowly and gradually, when we are following the incident and other things going on in this part of the world, we became associated. We started associating with the whole thing. We were attracted. We were, committed to it by gradual progression. Not suddenly we started running. By gradual progression it came, and we became totally committed to the thing. Slowly and gradually we became totally committed to the movement. We used to go to the court, do our works in the court, finish it by 2, and then we would go, hire a car, and we'll assemble and we'll go by 4 or 4:50, and they'll come back at 11, 12, 1 a.m. like this, almost daily. So we are so many, about 15, 20 young friends were there. So myself and Ghulam Usmani, we used to go almost daily. Others, by permutation combination, someone 3 or 4 would go to this today, the other 3 or 4 would go tomorrow, like this. We created a club, not like not a year one, but some friends, good friends, 10, 20, 15, 20, and all these things. We were taking interest. We are going to the border. We are meeting this Muktijuddhas, and whenever and whatever they are in need of anything, they should tell us. That salt was very much in need in those days. We are having no salt, and we are not getting interest. So we used to collect salt and give them. Someone would come and say that I don't have a boat, shoe. I don't have a shoe. Then others will say that mosquitoes, too much mosquitoes are there here in this part. So we require some mosquito net. So we arranged some mosquito net for them. Some came and said that we don't have any pillows also. We were not working in the front line. We are on the back and helping these people to so slowly and gradually go forward. This is what we had been doing for the whole year. When the actual war started, this last phase of the war, we are almost daily there on the border, going to the camps, meeting the wounded, taking them to the hospital, and meeting the requirements of this people. This is what we used to do. But friends also, all we took all money interest, serious interest in the thing. Camp doesn't mean like the tent, It's not like tent. Somebody is given them shelter, a room. Some back-end room house is given. They come here, keep their things there, and take some rest. And whatever the deficiency is there, they fill up the deficiency through some others. We cover some side. Some others also cover some side, like this. People, so many people are involved. You can't say who is helping what. There's a town hall in Karimganj. They used to come and stay in the hall. If you go to the hall, you will see 15, 20, 30, 40. They are lying on the floor, just being exasperated, they would be tired. In the town hall, people used to do meetings and all the meetings and other things, conferences, all these things. There, they were given. It was given to them, and they would come here, stay here, dine here, and would go back. Some would come, some would go back. They're like this, coming and going. Silchar is 35 miles away from Karimganj. We used to cover the 35 miles daily, almost. Going and coming back with 70 miles. Then sometime to some camps also about 4-5 miles away. Like this, We used to go and come. We used to hire a taxi. These we ourselves managed. Yes, we have good income. We managed. But the other side is to the demand they made by this year, the deficiencies they had, we used to collect from the people. The town is basically a town of Hindu people. They are so much jubilant. They are so much they would not here to pay. We are not elected to pay any amount. Ask them 500, 1,000, 200, whatever you want, you would get from them. These businessmen and these shopkeepers and these town people, they used to liberally pay, and from this money we purchased things and we are there. This is how we manage the money. Karimganj borders are basically Muslim people. 90% area is, and about say 20 to 25 kilometers area, length area, are all inhabited Muslims. They are they are looking at this thing with awe and woe. They are afraid that Pakistan may be broken. But since the government of India is involved in the whole thing, since the intellectuals are involved with the whole thing, since the politicians are involved with the whole thing, they, in spite of their money, in spite of their displeasure, they would not express it. They may not like it. You ask them a question, they will avoid it. Like this. And one thing I tell you, well, to be very frank, it is not that all the Muslims, I am a Muslim, all Muslims are not supporting the movement. There are fundamentalists, there are old Muslims, especially the elders who were in favor of Pakistan. Before 47, they used to go for possession, demanding Pakistan. Those who are there, they're old, of course, they are old, but they were there. And they didn't like it very much, the idea of having Bangladesh or throwing out these people or dividing Pakistan, and so that a new country can emerge. They were against us. But we have to face these things. This is normal and natural thing. Whenever you go to do a thing, good thing, there will be some people to criticize you. This is we took it like ordinary incident of life, that we were criticized to you and not looked upon very, in a nice way. That these young people, they are working for Bangladesh, the Muktijuddhas, work against the Pakistanis who uphold the flag of Islam and all these things without knowing what was being done in the field or in the countryside by the Khanchanas and all these things. The atrocities, the rape, the arsons, everything, the killing of intellectuals. But they all shake the conscience of the people, shake the conscience of totally shaked. We are shaked really. And so far I am concerned, so far Mr. Ghulam Usman is concerned, we have our relations here. His old brothers here. My cousin, so 2 or 3 cousins are there also. They are in a very difficult state. And so, we were, you understand that we are so much hand in glove with the whole thing. The whole hand in glove with the whole thing. We couldn't take ourselves out, and there was no question of taking ourselves out. In social gatherings, in say marriage, in other social gatherings, myself, I would go to a marriage, I would go to some other religious functions. Then the people would ask me, that you people are trying, the government of India is trying to break this country, and you are helping this government. How is it? I used to tell them the things are, don't look these things from this point of view. Look from other angle. You know what is happening there. Atrocities being done. What is happening there, and the rationale of the whole thing. Bengalis are majority in Pakistan. Majority is in Pakistan. The Urdus and Bengalis, Bengali have been taken as associate language, recognized language. But the last election, where Awami League, you believe in democracy, you are in India. Democracy is firmly rooted in India. You understand democracy also. So why don't you apply the same standard in Pakistan? Bhutto didn't get the majority. It is Awami League which got the majority. And what they did in Dhaka on the night of 24th, Bhutto asked EIA to clamp down on the people, and he flew away. You have to understand these things. The people, they can't, because we are lawyer, we are argumentative always. They can't defeat us in argument and all these things. Naturally, they would come down. Actually, in fact, there in the border areas of Assam and all these things, this side, actual fighting was not there. It was in Sylhet, 50 miles away from the border. Farid Gaji's house was bombed. When we went there, we saw a tank like this, ditch. His house was bombed. Some other house was bombed. Some people, and actually fighting was intensely. Was in your border, West Bengal border, Kustia, Jasur, all this. From that side, our army entered. More and more entered from that side. From our side also, some armies entered. But from our airport, Kumilgram, there was some sorties also. On that very night, when on the night when Nihaji surrendered, we were celebrating it in my house. My house was stoned like anything, From all sides there are stones and stones by people. That these people are, Pakistan has been defeated, and these people, these young lawyers and others, they are celebrating it. You understand it? Understand much sentiment. The sentiment is equally, we are very much, what shall I say, enjoying it, and they were very much depressed, equally they are depressed, and that depression found expression in throwing stones. Throwing stones. After the war was over, within a day or two, we organized a team. We hired a bus. We wanted to go to Sylhet to see actually what happened there. And in fact, we took a bus, 30 or 35 persons, young lawyers boarded it. We went to Sylhet. And when we reached Sylhet, each one went to search out his relations and all these things. We also met Farid Gaji. we, 2 or 3 had met Farid Gaji. We are known earlier to him from earlier, because he at the during the years, months before the war, he used to go to Silchar, and we used to have talk and all these things with him. And there are some other leaders I have forgotten. I'm 74. I've forgotten the names and all these things. And we have seen these things, we've seen the damage is done in the house of Farid Gaji. Always a big tank has been created by bombing. And other houses are also affected. Some bridges are affected. And we saw in the field, football field, there's a football field, people told us that there are hundreds of, they have tanks and all these things that are there, and these are there, these remain there in the football field, near the football field, where these Khansanas used to live. But within these 2 or 3 days, they had left Sylhet. They have come to, they have been asked to mobilize, asked to move to some other place. The people in the locality, they had not to ask the Khansanas where we are going or what order has come to you, because they are not in good terms. We went there, we went there. Sylhet and Cachar, they are twin districts, Cachar is the extension of Sylhet. So almost everyone of Cachar is having his relation in Sylhet. So we would go there. When we went there, we were very much, sorry, shall I say, what happened to this, you got to know what happened to our relations, to this man, to that my friend, Omuk. And when we went there, we boarded down from the bus, and each and everyone went to find out the relations and all these things. And we also went there. We found out our relations, and they were found intact. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought. Traditions, you must read it. Traditions, it is. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought. The sad part of the thing is over about 41 years ago. What remains is the sweet side. What remains sweet side. So our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest plight and saddest things. We now here, after 41 years, we have been invited by the government of Bangladesh. We are thankful to the government of Bangladesh. This mentality of acknowledging a sort of a debt speaks to the mind of a nation. And if that is the mind of the nation, then we can live, peacefully and separately. We want that Bangladesh should prosper. It should be a prosperous and strong country. You can change your neighbor. You can change your friend, but you can't change your neighbor. You can't change your neighbor. Bangladesh is our neighbor. Pakistan is our neighbor. So if your neighbor, if the house of your neighbor catches fire, you will also be burned. So what do you want? That your neighbor should also be strong enough with good things and all these things, so that you also remain safe.